Welcome to Season 1, Episode 5, Where is Emma the Nomad? It's a bit of an adventure this week. We're road tripping in Ireland. And I thought, while I was road tripping in Ireland, why not bring along some little nomads? So, can you guys find Ireland on the map? Yep, it's in Europe. It's one of those English-speaking countries in Europe. Okay, so for the next couple of days, we're going to be driving around the southern part of Ireland. I'm going to ask you to help me out by figuring out the distances between the places I go. I'm going to show you some cool places. Maybe we'll meet some interesting people. How does that sound? All right, buckle up, little nomads. Okay, little nomads, what did most of you notice? That's right, I'm driving on the wrong side of the road, or at least for some of you, the wrong side of the road. It's not actually the wrong side of the road, though. It's the left side of the road. In some countries around the world, including Ireland, they drive on the left-hand side of the road. Can you guys do a couple of sweet searches and find out where else in the world they drive on the left side of the road and why some countries drive on the left side of the road and some countries drive on the right side of the road? Okay, find out and let me know. Alright, little nomads, so that's day one done. We've made it to Cork. This morning I woke up in Paris. I got on a plane, I flew to Dublin, and I got into a rental car in Dublin and I drove from Dublin to Cork. I took the most direct route I could. Can you guys find out how many kilometers or how many miles I had to have traveled to go from Dublin to Cork? Okay. Good morning, little nomads. Welcome to Cork, Ireland. Did you guys find that on the map? Remember yesterday we drove from Dublin to Cork? And did you calculate that distance? Today we're gonna hang out in Cork a little bit. Emma's gonna have to do a little bit of work because part of the reason why I'm in Ireland is to work with the fishing industry here. But that doesn't mean we're gonna get to do a couple of cool things, I think. So let's see how the day goes, but I wanted to show you this beautiful view behind me on this lovely morning. All right guys, see you later. Alright, little nomads, so I told you we may be doing something fun today. We're on a fishing boat in the port of Cork, and I'm helping out some fishermen actually with a photo shoot, which is not what I was thinking I was going to do today. But I'm going to take you inside to look on this fishing boat. Yeah?
Turning 14. Yeah, episode. And that's actually transformer. So the equipment they have right with the sonar, they see the fish there right away. Yeah. Okay, little nomads, now we're on the top of the boat. See how big it is down below me there? We're standing right at the top, and you can see all of the Cork port behind me. The port of Cork. What a treat, eh? I better turn the music off. Alright, little nomads. Well, that's it. We're done with Cork. We're on the road. We're heading to our next destination. The weather is not looking very good, and we did not make it to the Blarney Stone. Can anybody find out what the Blarney Stone is all about? Yeah, we didn't get there, but it's not a reason why we can't look it up, yeah? Can anybody tell me the best part of rain? Ah, rainbows, can you see it? How wicked. I'm wearing my sunglasses in the rain, only in Ireland. right, little nomads, we've arrived. Where, you say? We've arrived in Killarney. Behind me is Ross Castle. It was built in the 15th century and has had many changes over the years, but it still stands strong. Can you guys guess how old Ross Castle is if it was built in the 15th century? The other thing about Killarney, it's cold. So I'm wearing a couple of layers here and we're gonna go for a bit of a walk. But welcome to Killarney, little nomad. I love a good walk in the woods. How about you guys? Do you like a big walk in the woods? All right, nomads. Well, I was working all day and then driving, and the best cure for that is a beautiful walk in the woods. And can you listen to the silence? There's nobody around. Very different from London and Paris, isn't it? Shall I show you what we stumbled upon? Are you ready for it? Look at that beautiful lake, beautiful picturesque landscape. Yay, Killarney! Alright, little nomads, day 3 of our road trip around Ireland. We had a bit of a lie-in this morning, which is another way of saying a sleep-in. Yesterday was a big day, so we didn't get out bright and early, but we've got some nice weather. It's not looking too bad. A bit gray, but not massively raining. And we have started out this morning in Killarney. Remember, that's where we were yesterday.
Which saves 11 minutes. If you prefer to stay on the current route, tap no. Thanks.
GPS, did you hear that? I'm gonna tap no, because we're gonna go the long way. All right, so we're heading off to Dingle. This is one of the scenic areas in this part of Ireland, and that's where we're headed. So we'll keep you updated, and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay. Nomads. Well, we've made it onto the Dingle Peninsula. That was where we were headed, and it's a beautiful scenery, and I actually see some blue skies. Do you guys want to see the kind of car I'm driving too? Oh, there she is. It's a Ford Focus. It's also a diesel car, which I don't usually drive. So instead of taking regular gasoline, it takes diesel. So I haven't had to fill up yet, but at some point we're gonna have to fill up. But where's that blue sky? It's up there somewhere. It's coming out, the sunshine. All right. Little nomads, well, going through dangerous roads and climbing is often worth it for the view. So behind me down there is the furthest point of Dingle Peninsula, and we're headed that way next. Let's go. All right, little nomads, we've made it to Dingle. But everybody else is here too, and it's a madhouse. So we're not gonna stay.
we've moved on. We're going out to Sleigh Head to see what that's all about. But first, I'm gonna pick up some snacks because I'm getting a bit hungry. Let's go see what's about. Where exactly are you going? Yeah, you're gonna go around me? Thank you. Alright, little nomads, update. So we're not getting very far. The roads are really, really windy and slow, and so I don't think we're gonna get very far today. And I don't know how much activity we're gonna get besides driving, but I thought I'd give you a bit of a challenge. Okay, so here I am. I am on the west coast of Ireland. Past those islands behind me is North America. What would happen if I sent a laser, the strongest laser and biggest laser ever, directly that way? What part of North America would it hit? Can you guys figure that out? Okay.
See that island out there?
Yes?
It's called Inchvicolon. And in 1930, the Holodolig, he came out one evening and he heard this mysterious kind of a sound in the air. So they believe it was the sound of a seal way off in the distance. So he went in and picked up his fiddle and came back out, and this is what he came up with. Port the Buchi fairy tune.
Okay, little nomads, this is our last spot of the day today on our road trip in Ireland. We are at the Cliffs of Moher. That's right, one of the most famous spots in Ireland is a bunch of cliffs. But they're not just any old cliffs. They're a unique site and an environmentally protected area, a very special protected area, due to the birds that colonize and breed and hang out here. There's about 20 different species all here. So most of you won't find this interesting. And yet, I wonder, are there any young geologists out there? Or maybe ornithologists who might find this just particularly fascinating? Alright, little nomads, well, today's our last day on our road trip around Ireland. We've left Limerick, which is where we stayed last night after the Cliffs of Moher, and we're headed to Dublin to return the car, get on a plane, and head to our next destination. So I hope you enjoyed yourself as much as I did. So until next week, when we're in a